Hey Timmy, today Sergeant Rick is here. Sergeant Rick is gonna give the classroom a whole lecture today about just saying no to drugs because drugs lead to death, misery, despair, agony, grief, sorrow, all of those things. Drugs lead you to those things. And I'm Sergeant Rick, and I want to tell you that your safety is very important to me. We have a duty to serve and protect, and we want to make sure that you live to be a strong, young, strapping, individual, and you become a productive citizen in your country. You know, and to that means and ends, we're going to have to wage a war on drugs to make sure that your community is safeguarded and that no drugs enter. You know, the typical bullshit that they tell you when you regurgitate that because you're brainwashed too. I don't fault you. I just fault your brain. It's not working well. It's deeply unwell. Anyway, I hear that they have a new medication. If you take it, you don't get sick. You feel brand new again, like a brand new baby. And you're born again, reborn again. And wouldn't you know, you feel happy and joyous. Have you taken your new medication yet? You know, when you fuck up, it's best to at least admit you fucked up. But most people, they don't want to ever admit that they fuck up. They want to just be in charge and tell you they didn't fuck up. And we all know that they fucked up, but they'll never admit it. You know those type of people. Upper management, the supervisor. Oh no, it was the employee's fault. I think it was the customer in that case. You know, you can never say it's this fucker's fault. You can never say, you know, you didn't have enough signs up posted, or you hung me out to dry. You knew that customer was a jerk, and you said nothing. You did nothing. No, the supervisor, the upper management guys, they're clean and pristine. No blood on their tie. You know the type. Anyway, wouldn't you know, here we go again. It's not going to be pretty, folks. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be a summer. It's going to be a summer. But a summer, is it going to be a summer to remember? Probably, you know, summertime. When you can go outside, you can, have less clothes on. Get the rays of the sun. Lots of vitamin D. So naturally, you think it would make people happier. It's not very much to be happy about. I mean, if you go around a lot of people, you get sick. And maybe you don't get sick. But if you go around some people that you care about, they could potentially get sick. And everybody's fed up with wearing masks. But they know they gotta keep, themselves protected because the air is so polluted. You know, it's a season of sadness, grief, despair, and sorrow, brought upon by, poor behavior on everybody's part. There's enough blame to go around. You see, everybody wants to point the finger and say, it's that person's fault. Oh no, it's that person's fault. For sure it's that person's fault. I found a guilty party. And they'll tell you that bullshit. And you'll probably continue to consume it like you do all the rest of the drugs that they feed you. You know, they're fighting the war on drugs. But is it really a war on drugs? Or is it a war on poverty? Masquerading as a war on drugs. You know, you can't pump something and then, dump it. People are used to the pump. They need the adrenaline rush. They need the drug. And then after they, feed you the drug. Then they try to pull it. But you can't pull, well, your hand out of a lion's mouth quickly. You gotta pull it down gently. And well, that's what they're trying to do. Pull the drugs out of you gently. And well, I can't blame them. They can't tell you the whole thing was rigged from the beginning. I mean, you really will get your torches and tikis and well, pitchforks. And well, they've seen that story before. So well, they're trying to minimize the causation of well, damage. And well, they're fighting the war on drugs. And nowadays, you need drugs just to cope. I mean, who doesn't take drugs? Alcohol, you know, is a drug. People have been consuming that ever since, well, before the Prohibition, during the Prohibition, and definitely after the fucking Prohibition. Alcohol has never stopped. There's never been any demise of that. And that's a drug. Well, it's multiple drugs. Sugar is one of them. And well, what do you know? Sugar is the biggest drug. It leads to the most deaths. And nobody ever talks about that. It's called, well, diabetes. And then you have other drugs. People talk about that because, well, the side effects may be more visible. And well, not necessarily about the severity. Because the severity could be the same. But visibility. Nobody wants to see somebody strung out on drugs outside. And well, certain drugs you take to cope with the other drugs they've given you have bad, well, chemical reaction mixes. You know, gotta be careful. Can't be mixing a lot of different drugs. Nobody likes that stuff. Well, somebody likes it, but you flip out an OD very quickly. Anyway, we had an epidemic of drugs. There's never been more drugs. Everybody's on drugs. You need to be on drugs in the empire. How to cope with the empire. Get everybody on drugs. And well, now everybody's complaining about taking their drugs. They don't want to take another medication, another shot, another pill, another drug. They figure they got enough. And that's true. Everybody's a drug dealer. Well, and everybody takes drugs. You got to in an empire. You got to on the planet. It's a thing. You got to determine which type of drugs though you want. I mean, do you want the really unhealthy drugs like KFC, Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's? You know, all the chemicals that are in that meat, if you can even call it meat. All the toxins, the poisons, the vaccines, you know, no nutrients, no protein. You know, you got to determine if you want drugs like that. With your large Diet Coke and Sprite, you know, more sugar, more carbonation, more chemicals, more dyes. You know, you can't complain about a vaccine. You can't complain about, well, another medication if you kill yourself every day. It's just one, it's going to maybe take a long time to do it. The other, well, it might take shorter. What does it matter? We're fighting the war on drugs, wouldn't you know? And well, that's the end of the lesson for today. Sergeant Rick was happy to, well, present to the classroom. And well, remember, we're winning the war on drugs, just like we're winning all the wars. We never lose wars. We're Americans. If we say we can do it, yes, we can. And well, we definitely did a bang-up job with the war on drugs. Everybody knows we won that war. Now we're fighting an invisible enemy. You know, the last time we fought drugs and we won, for certain we can beat an invisible enemy. I mean, do you doubt us? We're Americans.